Hey guys, it's a pleasure to see you again. Thank you for being here. And today we're gonna continue talking about functions. We're gonna expand a little bit more about what the default values within a function are. We're gonna also expand on arguments and keywords and how to capture arguments that don't necessarily have a keyword assigned to them and keywords that are not part of the function itself. So let's get started. First of all, I decided that in order to do this, I'm gonna tackle a little bit more of like an easier problem, just so it's you can follow it better. And we're gonna start with this function. We're defining walked miles distance, and our inputs are gonna be miles per hour speed, the speed in miles per hour that we're walking at. And our second argument is going to be walk time in hours. So if you can see there's an equal sign 3 here and an equal sign 4 here, that's because those are our default values for the function. Here we return miles per hour speed times walk time hours, which is pretty intuitive. So if we put walked miles distance and we only put one argument, 3, the default is to go in order. So it's gonna assume that the 3 belongs to miles per hour speed. And we know that walk time hours, it's 4. So 3 times 4 equals 12. And this is what the function is returning. If we want to use the default of miles per hour and specify the walk time hours, we need to actually include that keyword inside of the arguments of our function when we call it. So print walk miles distance walk time hours equals 3, it's going to give us 9 because this is the default 3 and we're assigning a 3 to this one, and 3 times 3 equals 9. What happens now if we put something that has not been defined here? Well, you guessed it. We are gonna get an error, actually. That's just what you saw here is how we're gonna fix it in a couple of minutes. So, here we're gonna be defining what arguments and keywords are. Args and kwargs. Kwargs stands for keyword arguments. So in this example, we're following the same idea. However, we are creating an external list just for the purpose of the exercise, in which we're going to be appending the arguments, but we're defining walked miles distance to, just so we don't get confused with the one we just created here. Miles per hour speed equals 3, so that hasn't changed. Walk times hours equals 4, just like here. And then we're gonna put one asterisk for args, which means any argument that we might wanna pass towards the function without the specification of an external keyword. In here, this would be an argument, for example. And here, once you include this becomes a keyword. One asterisk is for an argument, 2 asterisks is for a keyword. You could really write anything that you want here. And you can use this name as an index, the same way that you use inside of a for loop, in order to specify what you want this index to do inside of the function. In our case, we're going to be printing any keyword arguments that we pass towards the function, and let's say that we're very interested in seeing or saving the arguments without a keyword identified that the people who use this function regularly put most frequently into the function. So we're going to do extra info here, extra info dot append, so the arguments are going to go here. and we're gonna do return miles per hour speed times walk time hours. The output of our function hasn't changed. We're just printing the keywords and saving the arguments in the list that we created here. So we're gonna go ahead and run it, and we're also gonna be spending a lot of time kind of explaining the importance of understanding the order of the arguments that people who use the function um, specify. For example, if I do put this, we are basically gonna get the printed outcome of our keyword and the number 12. However, if I wanna put an argument, let's say here, an argument that's gonna be saved into extra info, I'm gonna put it here, comment, and I'm gonna try to run it. I cannot. Why? Because the argument is following a keyword. So every time that I use an argument and a keyword inside of a function, I need to put the argument before the keywords. Now we're gonna do something else so you get a better idea of also how it works when you try to put it. If I try to do this, it's not gonna work either. Why? Because here I'm passing my argument as my first argument, and right now Python thinks that the first argument by default, no matter what you write, is gonna be miles per hour speed. So once I do this, Python thinks I'm actually specifying two values for one parameter or argument. So in here, it's actually giving me the message of what miles distance to got multiple values for argument miles per hour speed. So in reality, if I wanted to pass an extra argument, I couldn't pass these two as keywords. I would need to do the following: 3, 4, and then I can write my comment. These three are in the form of arguments. That's how Python recognizes this to be the extra argument and to put it in the order of not following a keyword, which by default Python is not going to allow you to do. You cannot put an argument after the keyword. It needs to follow that order. So if I run this, now my function is working. And if I actually want to see what's inside of extra info, I'm gonna go ahead here and print extra info, and there's my comment. I can go as long as I want to, and that's one of the most great things about these arguments that you can include in functions. Oh, I forgot a comma here. And this time that I run it, I get all of the comments that I imputed, including, for example, first time I did comment, then comment 1, comment 1, feedback, and you kind of get the gist of how the person who's running this, what are the groups of information, or what are the arguments that it most often put together, etc. So it's one of the ways in which you can use the arguments inside of the function, not the only way that you can do it, but it gives you an idea of something you can do with it and that you can kind of like use in the future for your own productivity, to increase your productivity, fit your needs, or even for your own curiosity. Well, that's kind of like the same idea over here of everything that we explained. And thank you for watching.